So let's start here. The case against former acting police commissioner Khomotso, Phahlane and 5 others is going to return to court in December. They faced charges of fraud and corruption, and they were rounded up over the past couple of days and were in court today. It's related to an alleged fraudulent tender valued at over 50 million rand and dating back to 2016. Our reporter Silindelo Masikane was in court. She joins me now. So, Slee, we're talking about some very high-profile current and former members of the police, the very people who are meant to investigate corruption, clamp down on criminals themselves in the dock, including, of course, Khomotso Phahlane, who used to be an acting police commissioner. This is a big deal. Dates back to 2016. Give us the context. Tell us what happened in court.
Of course, so news broke just yesterday that some high-profile arrests in terms of these top cops, major generals, lieutenant generals that have been arrested by the investigative directorate to face fraud and corruption charges relating to a police tender dating back to 2016. Now, the context of that tender is that it seems that crime intelligence, which is a division of the SAPS, felt it necessary that they needed to procure some software for social media monitoring. There were some consultations that took place, some quotations that were made, that were done, and it seems that the 2 quotes which were considered were actually from companies who have relations. So the company owners, in some way or another, do know each other, and they participated in what the state is accusing them of cover quoting. So the one company kind of overcharged to allow the SAPS to then take the lower quote, but that was just done as a way for them to actually just secure the tender either way. So it could have gone to either one who bid, but it was done in order to ensure that it just went to either one of these companies. And we have, of course, the former police commissioner who essentially signed off on these tenders, being one of the 6 people in the dock facing fraud and corruption charges, as well as money laundering and theft and the contravention of the PFMA. We understand that the social media monitoring software was to monitor the Fees Must Fall protest, which of course erupted the year before in 2015. Now, we had a moment to try and get a sense from Phahlane, who we understand spent a night at the Brooklyn police station, to see how he's feeling, because of course, making a first appearance, this was the opportunity for him and the co-accused to be able to apply for bail. Let's just take a listen to what he had to say when he arrived in court. Mr. Phahlane, how are you feeling?
Can't you see I'm looking good?
Yeah. I'm told you spent a night in jail.
What is jail? Define jail.
Yes. I'm told you spent a night in the Brooklyn police station.
I'm not so sure. Can I be allowed to move?
Yes, sure.
He looks very relaxed for facing such serious charges. You've spoken to forensic experts Paul OSullivan. What did he tell you? Now,
it seems he, as well as former IPID boss Robert McBride, have been working with the police in trying to secure these arrests in connection with this particular tender matter. And of course, Mr. OSullivan, speaking to us this morning, was speaking quite in depth about a number of investigations surrounding Phahlane, saying that, in fact, it seems the corruption that took place during his tenure really started with him and just trickled down. Let's just take a listen to what he had to say to me this morning.
Unfortunately, we have a lot of dirty police. They are still on the job, many of them. We have to remember that during the years when the criminal justice system was captured, not only Phahlane but others linked to him were bringing people in and falsely fraudulently promoting people. So we have a lot of generals and major generals and brigadiers who need to be shown the door or shown the door of a prison cell. And I think that process may take some time to unravel.
You've also spoken to Robert McBride, and of course he was head of the police watchdog, IPID, and their very job is to try and root out this sort of corruption. What did he have to say?
I mean, he also went into detail about just how some of those who are in the dock, in particular Phahlane, terrorized them essentially while he was still in his tenure, making it quite difficult to have investigations completed, just always blocking the progress of these investigations. And it seems that some headway has has been made since his removal as the police commissioner, saying that there should be more arrests and more done to try and eliminate or get rid of dirty cops or alleged dirty police officers in the force in order to ensure that we can restore law and order. We know just from the State Capture Commission of Inquiry what has happened to the justice system and how it's been hollowed out. Let's take a listen.
I'd like to first say, well, congratulate him on a job well done. I've looked at the indictment. It's watertight as it was 3 years ago. But most importantly is from amongst the people who are here, they conducted a reign of terror against IPID investigators. One was killed, some were arrested. Other people who assisted, like OSullivan here next to me, were also arrested as part of counter investigations against us. Accused number 2 in this case, Ivanathan Kistia, tried on 2 occasions to blacken my name and smear me with the assistance of some state security agency officials, and that was exposed also. And Inspector General of Intelligence then, Dr. Dintwe, testified at Zondo Commission about it. So for us, it's a message not only for the criminal justice system, but for the entire country, that eventually the law will catch up with you and you'll have to face the consequences.
He looks like a man who has been vindicated, does Robert McBride. We know that he had a very difficult time, as he's just explained there. So all 6 accused did get bail today. They're going to be back in court in December. What's likely to happen then?
So we understand, of course, that there'll be full disclosure before them around October, but they've all been granted bail with varying amounts, from the lowest being 5,000 and the highest being 50,000. And we understand that, of course, Phahlane still has other matters that he's seized with in terms of tender corruption cases. We understand that his assets have been frozen, and he intends on challenging that. So between then and now, the state will be then giving full disclosure to the attorneys, and then come the 7th of December, I think then we'll understand exactly when this matter could possibly go to trial.